Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Make It a Great Week, where we start off each Monday morning with a strong cup of coffee and a positive conversation. I'm your host, Justin.
And I'm Opa. Let's make it a great week.
I'm off 3 days this week.
That's cool.
3 days, yep.
That's
Wednesday,
really neat.
Thursday, Friday. So I have been putting off doing yard work for quite some time. Well, when I moved in, there was a lot to do, and I've already talked about, we had a whole episode devoted to bamboo, basically.
Bamboo, right.
But there were also a lot of dead bushes in the front, a lot of leftover leaves. So I am on Wednesday going to rent a truck from Lowe's, and I'm just going to start throwing all the bushes in there, throwing all the huge bamboo clumps that we've dug up, and I have it, I think, for a whole day. So I'll probably be making 6 trips to the dump or something.
Wow.
But then the day after that, me and Lily and the kids are going to redo the front flower bed. We're going to go to a local nursery and just pick out some flowers and plants and level it out. So
cool. Letting her creativity flourish.
I told her, whatever you want to do, I'll dig it up and put it in there. It's going to be her creative vision because she's got the eye for that stuff. So I know my daughter's going to love that.
Yeah.
There's a video of her when she was like 1.5 or 2. Remember in our old house doing the mulch in the front yard, walking around with her little gloves. So it'll be good. And then Friday we're going to go to the Columbia Zoo.
Really? That'll be an exciting adventure.
Yeah, we've never been, so we thought we've never really taken them to a big zoo, just a local one. So that'd be really fun to go see lots of different animals.
That sounds cool.
Have you been to the Columbia one?
I have never been there, but I know the kids have gone with some friends and everything. But I have never been there. I hear it's pretty nice. The riverbanks.
Yeah. I've never been either, but I've heard it's really good. My brother went there.
Very nice.
What are you going on this week?
Well, more of the same. Uber trading podcast.
Yeah.
And I am flexible. I got a doctor's appointment. Yeah, I got that. And Ruth's got a doctor's appointment. So as you get older, you have to fit those things in your schedule.
The follow-up appointment or just a check-in?
Yeah, follow-up. Yeah, nephrologist.
Okay.
Meaning a kidney doctor. Because I do have CKD, stage 3A. Chronic kidney disease, stage 3A. So I got an A in my life. There you go. First
well,
one
for the remaining kidney or the one that they took out?
It's the only kidney I have,
And that one is?
Buzz. That's its name. Huz took one for the team, is no longer here. God bless him. And Buzz, his twin brother, is taking over all kidney function from here on out.
Well, how is the function of it?
I guess okay. I don't feel any different. I'm just hoping that they were telling me the truth when they x-rayed these things and put a 12-inch incision in my abdomen, and took out these things because I don't feel any different, but I guess those hidden faults were cleansed, as it says in Psalm 19. Who knew? Yeah, these hidden faults and cleanse me from these hidden faults, and they did. I guess I don't know. Like I said, I feel no different. Maybe slightly better, but still know that with a little bit twisting and turning and coughing and things, I still feel a little bit of tension.
Yeah.
Something in near the scar area. So I don't know. I mean, again, I guess I hope in fact, I'm very confident that they knew what they were doing. Was it necessary? They say it was. So now we got to take care of my sole remaining kidney.
Yeah.
AKA Buzz. Yeah.
Yeah, you really do need to take care of that.
Yeah.
That needs to be a very big focus.
Yeah. Unless, if something happens there, I don't know. My goodness. be looking for a donor or be on dialysis, one of the two. But I've got my kids are so generous. They said, "Listen, you can have one of ours, you know,
You got a lot of kidneys lined up? A whole list?
if need be." Yeah.
Yeah.
As when like Julia was going to needing a bone marrow transplant, everybody they said we need to test everybody
Mm.
and see if that could be a perfect match for her bone marrow transplant, and they did. And um, there's this list of things that they're looking for. I don't totally understand it, but she, five of the children were 10-10 matches. That
Mm.
was what they were looking for. We need to have all these little boxes checked, whatever that is.
Yeah.
And Claire, as a 12-year-old, said that she wanted to do it. I think she was 12 at the time. Said she wanted to do because of the five that were 10-10 matches, she was the one that actually volunteered and to
Mm.
do it. So poor little girl, because that's a hard thing to do to have someone harvest your bone marrow.
Yeah.
It sounds it's probably it's as painful as it sounds,
Yeah. Yeah.
But she did a great job, and I think maybe propelled her into the nursing profession.
Yeah. So it
Yeah,
would seem.
yeah. I just want to think that Buzz is gonna take me on out
You're
here.
right. You're right. You're right.
Buzz,
Yes, that's right thinking.
Buzz is gonna step up
Yeah.
and do his job.
Yeah.
um,
Okay, so I was gonna ask you, what is your favorite sport to play? What is the most enjoyable sport for you to actually be out there doing?
Softball, I would have to say
Okay.
softball. Yeah. hmm As much as I can nowadays, if I can limit my, uh, I don't have the range of motion or not the range of motion as much as the range of ability to cover as much territory as I need to.
Hmm.
So I need to be a very limited area, like maybe pitcher or first base. Catcher is probably the best area for me, catcher.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, that's I would say I have the most fun doing that. But I
Okay.
do like tennis, and I do tennis is um, weaned down to pickleball because
Hmm.
you don't have to cover much court, and pickleball is good. It's just that you got to be really quick at pickleball.
Yeah,
Hand-eye coordination got to be there. If you have a good partner, that's great.
yeah.
But somebody like me, need somebody with quick hand-eye coordination.
Well, you're like an anchor on the court. That's how my dad
Anchor.
is. You're just like if it
Your
gets
dad
near
is
you,
good.
if it gets near you, it's not, it's going back.
Yeah, it is. Yes, yes.
Um,
Your
you know,
dad is good.
you may not be all over the court, but that's what you said. You
Yeah,
kind of want one quick person who's just crazy all over, and then one
yeah.
person who you don't want to really hit it
Like
towards them.
yeah, right, because they're like a fence, and it's gonna not get by them.
Yep.
It's gonna, yeah. You'll be, and yeah, yeah. Your dad is a good. We got to play again. We got
He
to
played
play.
a lot of tennis growing up. You guys got to play a tennis match sometime.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's it would have to be doubles because
Yeah,
doubles is such a you don't cover as much.
yeah,
So my singles days are I think probably pretty much over because it's a lot of the court to you got a lot of court to deal with, starting and stopping, and then the knees are and ankles,
yeah.
feet, legs, back, everything starts, then not in the shape they used to be in.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah.
Well, I played a little bit of tennis, just a little bit with Daniel, my brother-in-law,
Oh,
who you know from softball,
yeah,
and
he's a joke, isn't he?
yeah, he's all right.
Mr. Olympia or something.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know him, which would probably be just about everyone listening, he is about as quick and fast and athletic as they come.
Yeah.
So he was kind enough to basically teach me some tennis, which basically meant anytime I was actually able to get it over the net, he was kind enough to hit it right back to me. And then,
Oh, wow.
it was good though. It was a lot of fun because it is fun to play with someone who you can, yeah, as long as you hit
Yeah,
it over that, they hit it back
yeah,
to you. Most of the time, if you play tennis with people who can't play, then you're both just kind of hitting it towards the net or
yeah,
out, and there's not much fun
yeah.
outside of
I
that.
I remember trying to teach the kids to play tennis, and they would just whack it like a baseball, in a
Yeah,
baseball, and that thing would go over the enclosure you were in, like the
yeah,
fencing here. Okay, now go get it.
Yeah.
Okay. You don't need to do that. It's finesse. You finesse it. Just get it over the net. No, you don't have to hit it hard.
Yeah, you do need to hit it lighter than you would think.
Right, right.
Yeah.
And after like 15 going over the fence, they finally start realizing, hey, let me just try to tap it to get just
Yeah.
over the net.
Yeah.
And it's God bless those people who coach t-ball and the beginners in any sport because they must have ultimate patience. And that's why my kids were ball boys or ball girls for the most part,
Yeah.
until they could start understanding and controlling their swing. But it's fun,
Yeah, I
and
feel
it's
like
good.
tennis is not a very kid-friendly sport
That
at
is
the very
true.
beginning.
Yeah, yeah.
Which is probably why so many kids play soccer in the beginning because it's a lot easier to explain to a kid run up and kick the ball than
Right,
it is
right, yeah,
stand here and hold the racket a certain way,
right,
hit it just the right
right.
strength and speed and get it over the net, but in a certain place over the net. But yeah,
And this is forehand, this is backhand, this is the way you want your feet, and
yeah,
just that little square, that's a lot for a
yeah,
kid to comprehend, right?
yeah.
Exactly.
All right, are you ready for a mini game? Let's make this a great mini game. Are you ready for it?
I love that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So I have a quote for you.
Okay.
It's from a public figure, and
Current or I mean, contemporary with us or somebody dead and gone?
you have four choices.
Okay.
It's a multiple choice
You're not
question.
answering that question.
No.
Okay.
I hold the maxim no less applicable to public than to private affairs, that honesty is the best policy. Is that A, Abraham Lincoln,
Final answer.
B, George Washington, C, Theodore Roosevelt, or D, Thomas Jefferson?
I would say Honest Abe. Final answer.
Incorrect.
Oh,
Too quick now. The honesty threw you. That was George Washington.
he was okay.
Yep.
Well, why did we always? Okay, all right. I'm going to believe you. I'm not going to Google check you like people do.
No, you should.
Okay, no, I
Yeah.
believe you because I don't think you would lie to me, honest,
It was a little bit of
George.
it was a little bit of a red herring to throw in the honesty part.
Yeah, yeah, I
You
know, I know.
associate
That's
that with Abraham Lincoln.
yeah, yes, Honest Abe. Yeah, I'm from the land of Lincoln, which is Illinois.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's why I don't know. He wasn't born there. He spent some time there, but that's why they call it Land of Lincoln.
They call it Land of Lincoln because he spent some time there?
Yeah, I think he was he was a lawyer there for a while.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
he lived there. He did live there, but wasn't born there.
Okay.
Kentucky, I think it was where he was born.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
Hmm. Anyway, wow. Okay, I'm 0 for 1.
Well, you only have one more chance. So
Okay.
at this point, the best you can do is 50%.
Okay. All right.
Are you ready?
Yes.
In matters of style, swim with the current. In matters of principle, stand like a rock.
Hmm.
Is that A, George Washington, again, B, Abraham Lincoln, C, Thomas Jefferson, or D, Barack Obama?
I was thinking Ralph Lauren, but because it matters of style.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. We got a time limit on here. I'm going to say George Lincoln. Did I give?
Incorrect.
Yeah. Okay. That's not my final answer.
Okay,
See, I'm
okay.
just trying to think here. I would say Thomas Jefferson. Thomas Jefferson. Final answer.
Correct.
All right.
Very good, very good.
Yes, that sounds very good.
I think
Very
everyone
good.
knows he likes style just from Hamilton, probably, which is where.
Okay. Yeah.
Do you remember that where they're talking about?
No, but that's.
Did you listen to Hamilton ever?
I think pieces. I think did we watch it? I think we might have watched it on when it was on Netflix.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good. It was, but I don't remember that. Yeah.
Just Jefferson talking about Hamilton loving fashion. I think that's actually what it is.
Huh. So read that quote again because that's a good quote. Um,
In matters of style, swim with the current. In matters of principle, stand like a rock?
Hmm. There's a spiritual uh, um, something that's comparable in the spiritual realm. I can't remember. Uh, in matters of I can't remember
Doctrine?
doctrine. Yes, stand. If it matters of preferences, then be flexible. Something like that.
Yeah.
Give grace or something. I don't
Sounds
know.
like something Paul would have wrote about,
Paul, maybe. I
or
don't
Peter.
don't know. Yeah, something like that. But it's a good point. You know, when it doesn't matter, go with the flow.
Yeah.
If it does matter, like the deity of Christ, well, there's we got to stand on that. I mean, the virgin birth, we stand on that. Yes, he was born of a virgin.
Yeah.
We there's no compromise in that. Sorry, you can't do it.
Well, what is your saying? Things are,
Flexible
yeah,
and things. I'm flexible and things are feasible.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
That's pretty
Try,
applicable to
try.
this.
I try to live by that. And I think you got to, especially if you're a married man.
And with a lot of kids, with a lot of changing schedules,
Yeah,
with a lot of
exactly.
grandkids.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, that is a really good mentality that I struggle having, which is just going with the flow sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And we're kind of talking about this earlier, but especially with things that are outside your control,
Yeah,
because you can't change them. If you
right,
stress about them constantly, it doesn't do
right.
you any good.
You,
And
you,
it's much easier said than done to really be flexible and have that mentality and
yeah,
keep it.
yeah. It is true. And you just got again. It goes back to discernment, and that's what I'm seeing more and more in life. I want to become very good at discernment.
Hmm.
What matters and what doesn't matter. What's uh, you know something that's important that I got to stand for or
Hmm.
on. I'm going to have Mexican tonight. Is that really something to cause stress over? Or if somebody says, I prefer whatever, Italian,
Yeah.
Chinese. Okay, well, I can be flexible on that. Um,
So do you think then that the kind of understood truth that parents get more flexible as they get older, is that due to increased wisdom? Because it seems like a lot of times parents, as they get older, will let their kids do more things or stress out less about stuff or that type of thing. Do you think that has to do with, like you said, better discernment, knowing what things are really important that you
yeah,
need to be firm on and what
it's
things
to
you,
say it another way is, pick the battles you want to fight. Do you want to fight the battle of, black fingernail polish
hmm
because it looks gothic. Nothing wrong with gothic, not as Jerry Seinfeld, to quote Jerry Seinfeld, not that there's anything wrong with that, but it gives this weird vibe.
yeah,
Uh, do I want to bring that up and cause a little friction there? No, I mean,
yeah,
initially maybe, yeah, but yeah, you got to pick your battles. Which ones are gonna And you got to have the wisdom to be able to do that.
mm,
So which ones are going to affect our relationship maybe irreparably? And I don't, do you want to do that? Maybe you do. I mean, because there's some people that you got to say, hey, that's another saying I heard, you got to change the people around you or change the people around you. Either they're going to change, um, becoming more in line with the way your vision is and where you're going, or you just got to get a whole new bunch of people, just change the whole group, and that's what it means for some people. You got to just change all your relationships because those relationships are dragging you down. You can see biblical, precedent for that and scripture for that. It says, evil communicate. I think it's King James version. Evil communications corrupt good manners,
mm,
which meaning that evil, I mean, being around bad, uh, um, a community of bad people is going to drag you down. So anyway,
and
why
the
don't I get
opposite
on
is
that?
true.
Yeah. But yeah, so you pick and choose your battles. And I think as you age in your parenthood, depending on your child and how rebellious they've been, maybe you don't want you got to have a little a tighter leash on some than others. I don't. Um, I hate to say my kids were really good kids, and that's why I tell them I just hope that they have kids like them,
Mm,
when they grow up, because my kids were really good kids.
mm,
Praise God. I mean, really do, because they did not give a whole lot of trouble.
yeah.
As you see some kids, and read about kids. If you read about it, that's really,
Yeah.
it's really bad.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
So you mentioned earlier that this was off the mic, but that you had someone who drove hours and hours to pick up a puppy. Is that
Yeah, I
correct?
didn't drive them hours and hours. They
Oh,
flew from Seattle, Washington. Seattle's in
yeah,
Washington, right?
yeah.
All the way across country to Greenville, South Carolina, coast to coast, to get a little puppy for themselves. And I'm
Wow.
thinking, wow, they must really be, and I guess these dogs, I can't even remember the name of it. Starts Lapsusas or something. I don't even know. You have to look it up. Somebody out there look it up and then Google us, Lapsusis or something like this. It's a small little dog.
Labradoodle?
No, no, it's a small like miniature, almost like the size of a Chihuahua or a Shih Tzu or something like this. I hope I said that correctly. I don't want to offend anybody. Um,
Thanks.
with a small dog like that I guess there's people and there's different groups out there that they communicate, and she found it here in Greenville, South Carolina, and I didn't even know the dog was around because it was so quiet in the car. And she
Wow.
was flying all the way home with this little puppy and saying, "Wow, that's pretty amazing. This person really is really wanting this animal that badly
Yeah.
to fly all the way across the country. That's pretty good, and it's
Probably going to be a pretty special relationship if that's how they start off putting that much effort into it.
yeah, yeah. And I picked up a gal today that's flying away that had her dog just had surgery yesterday. Her
Hmm.
dog, and she said she slept on the floor basically by the dog, so the dog
Yeah.
wouldn't have. Say, wow, that's pretty amazing. People have that sort of love for, shall we say, God's creatures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it is a beautiful thing that, even though animals don't have souls, humans have the capacity to care for things so much, even things that aren't human, that they
Hmm.
would sacrifice like that. I mean, it
Right.
shows what they're capable of for actual people, if that's what they can do for, an animal
Right.
that they're bonded to. I don't know. I think that is a really, it's a special thing, and not everyone has those kind of love for animals. Some people don't, but it's still a cool thing to be able to devote yourself like that and
Yeah.
sacrifice.
That capacity to be able to, like you say, love and care for. Wow, that's a unique capacity because
Yeah.
a lot of us, including me, I don't have that type. I probably should work on that a little more to help. Um,
To like dogs specifically?
no, I
Oh,
mean, maybe,
yeah.
maybe, but
You need to get a puppy?
I have no desire whatsoever to
So if
have
I
a
showed up with a
puppy.
puppy, you would be happy, is what I'm hearing.
I would happily show you Facebook Marketplace. I get rid of it. You hear those roosters
Uh,
in the background. I'm trying to, if anybody needs a rooster out there,
yeah.
let me know because I'm about, yeah, okay. But yeah, I don't have that capacity of love like some people do in that regard,
Mm.
and that's good. That's pretty cool to see that some people do, and I hope that if I ever and like I did when I was in the hospital, those people there did really have the compassion to. Uh, it seems like the nursing profession draws them,
Mm.
draws a lot of people like that have compassion to be able to help people in the most unpleasant circumstances.
Well, everyone has their different propensities and things that they're naturally good at, right? And I think if you're naturally good at that and you can lean into it, that nurturing nature.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, but I did want to try to help our listeners make it a great week each week. And I think we can give them a little bit of direction this week.
Okay.
So my challenge to everyone listening is to hold the door.
Mm.
This week, I want you to look out, and we're going to do the same. If you're willing, Opa,
Yeah,
we're going to be
yeah, yeah,
looking
yeah,
out
yeah.
Not just if the person's right behind you, but taking a couple extra seconds every time you're in public or at home, get the door for your spouse, open the door for your kids, and when you're in public, look around and see if there's anyone who needs help with the door. And it's as simple as that.
Yeah,
A nice smile. You don't even need to say anything. But I think if we can take that little bit of time as we're doing something as simple as opening a door and trying to be aware of there are other people who have to go through doors.
right, right. And what happens? You don't know what that person is doing, and that simple gesture of holding that door, maybe making eye contact with them with a nice smile on top of
Yep.
that, and a great little nod. Like I said, not even saying anything, but just holding that door for them and brightening their day like that may be able to help them make it a great week.